Hello and welcome to Villars-sur-Orlon for the European Championships. And as you can see, we're turning our attention first of all to speed climbing. Outside, the sun is setting over the mountains. It's a beautiful place to be, and the temperature, as you can see, pretty good for climbing. 22 degrees, 65% humidity. These speed climbers like things a little bit warm, and they will be back in the isolation area preparing themselves for the next hour or so. This is our speed wall. If you're new to the sport, don't worry, I'll take you through all the rules, but it's nice and simple. You start at the bottom, you finish at the top. The route never changes, but the speeds drop, and the athletes attempt to get closer and closer to the world records and, of course, beat their opponents. These are the results from earlier on. The qualification. Not everyone making it through, but 2 runs are allowed. The fastest time makes it. And as you can see, quick times. In fact, for the men, everyone about 5.5 seconds was the limit to get into tonight's final. So standards are high. Not quite coming close to the world record time. A certain Mr. Sam Watson getting that in the Paris Games. He's not here today, just European athletes competing, but some of the world's best, as you can see, and all to play for here tonight. And a big field for the men, 26 athletes coming. The Brits down at the bottom, Andrew Goodall, Matthew Fall and Luke Turner finishing things off in terms of time, but still within that 6-second limit, which is pretty special. And for the women, we had a less large field competing here, which means we brought less athletes through into the final itself. But our top 8, as you can see, Ava Hamilton down there in 9th, just missing out, but a new British record for her, beating the long-standing record set by Shauna Coxey when she was training for speed in the last games in Tokyo. Right, those are the results. The athletes who have competed earlier on during the qualification wasn't broadcasted, but you can find out all the information on the IFSC app, which is free to download. Just search for it wherever you find your apps, and you can keep up to date with the lead and Boulder, and of course the combined competition that will all take place this weekend. Right now on stage, judges, organisers are preparing things for the athletes, and the athletes themselves are waiting behind in the isolation. So let's check out how our competition works, shall we? Because although qualifications was all about speed, finals, it's a straight race against your opponent. And for the men, we've got a full field here, starting with the first round. We then progress to the semi-final, quarter-finals, small final and big final. And it's the small final where the bronze or 4th place is decided, final for gold and silver. And the athletes are positioned in terms of where they qualify for times. The fastest athlete versus the slowest. And for the women, as I said, less of a big field, so we just brought 8 through, so we skip around straight into the semi-final for the women. You've got to say, this Alia Kluichka, probably one of the favourites here this evening, but also Patricia Colli, hot off the back of an Olympics performance. She's just continued her season into tonight, so it'll be interesting to see where she's at, and certainly one you'd pencil in for some kind of a medal here. But as we know, anything can happen in speed climbing. The straight race format means the pressure really starts to play on the athletes. There's not much they can do in terms of preparation now. It's just simply a case of putting it all together on the night, keeping that heart rate as low as possible whilst you're running up a 15-metre wall. Right, our first athletes are waiting. I can see Matteo Zelloni on the right of your screen. He'll be up against Monsieur Garnier in the first race for the men. We'll go through the entire of the men's race before switching our attention over to the women's side of things. And this is our route. As I said at the beginning, it hasn't changed. The world records you can see at the top, 6.06 for Alexandra Miroslav in the Olympics. That's where she set that. And then Sam Watson didn't win a gold medal, but he did get a medal, bronze, and the world record, of course. 4.74 for Sam. Now, we're not necessarily expecting world records to be broken tonight. Those athletes who currently hold them are missing. But there were some fast times set during qualifying, especially on the men's side, although no one breaking that magic 5-second barrier for the men today. So the autobiles are being prepared. The volunteers bring them forward to the front of the stage. The athletes are just still being held on the right of your screen. They've been warming up in the isolation area, which is out the back where the warm-up wall is. And you can see our first 2 athletes, Matteo Zelloni especially, looking very relaxed out there, which is what you want to see. They're just being held so we can fulfill all the schedules that we're following here today. Bit of a slap of the face for Matteo Zelloni there, and then wiping it off with the rag. The athletes use chalk for grip, and now we are about to get underway here. Matteo Zaloni on the left of your screen, Italian athlete. Marcel Garnier on the right from France. You can see those Olympic rings from Matteo. He, of course, was at the Olympics just a couple of weeks ago. That it feels like a lifetime, though, doesn't it? So Matteo Zaloni, the current world champion. Certainly the favourite on paper here. Matteo's qualifying with a 5.05 was his best, getting him through to this stage of the competition. You can see in PBs quite a difference between the two men. So here we go, first race of the evening here in Villars. And we wait, as always, silence for the buzzers. Well, no false starts, and it's great for Matteo Zaloni. Look at this, streaking up the wall. Can Garnier keep in touch? I don't think he can, no. Matteo Zaloni will move forward pretty easily into the next round. 5.2089, so a bit in the tank for him, but about as perfect as you can want from a first round here. Matteo will now go away, reset. Hugs and smiles all round. Of course, these speed athletes are all business before they enter the stage, but things do change very quickly when they're against each other, but it's always good to see that after the race. Let's watch this again for Matteo Zaloni. He just never paused, streaking up through the beginning. An absolutely perfect middle section, coming into the what's called the Chinese top, invented by the Chinese, or perfected by the Chinese athletes, in a 5.28, easily beating his opponents in this first race. So next up, Konstantin Pavlenko from Ukraine will enter the stage, and Kevin Amon on the right. Now keep an eye on Kevin. He's one who can often do something pretty special out on the speed wall. Similar times in terms of PB, in terms of qualifying times for both of them in the 5.3s. In terms of PBs, not much to call between those either. So, Konstantin Pavlenko on the left of your screen, Kevin Amon on the right.
Ready.
Big swinging start from Kevin Amon. It has helped him off the blocks, but Konstantin Pavlenko is coming back at him. This could be anyone's. Konstantin takes it though. 5.4, not slow by any means. Konstantin moving forward and looks relieved out there. Kevin Amon will leave the stage, knocked out of that first round. That was a strong performance from the Ukraine athlete. So next race coming up as we move through this men's. Konstantin's teammate Yaroslav Tkach will be up next. Miguel Gomez Barrios after that. Let's look at that race. It was one in the top half of that. I thought it was going to come down to the air, but Konstantin just started to pull away as he neared the top there. So, Yaroslav Tkach on the left. And Miguel there on the right. New uniforms from Team Ukraine. Nice to see the... I think it's black. Is it black, dark blue? I think it's black. Taking place the usual blue and yellow. Maybe it's an away kit, don't know. So the athletes ready now. Yaroslav, again, coming from the Olympics. One to really watch. Won the European Cup last year.
Ready.
And that is a fast start from both men, but Yaroslav walking away with this at the moment. If he can keep it together, and he slaps that banger. 5.433 for him. Yaroslav would like to make it deep into this competition. Now some world-class athletes here in Villars at the moment. A lot of athletes choosing to come here after the Olympics, maybe just to reset before the upcoming World Cups. Next one taking place in Copper. Boulder and Lead action and combined format throughout this weekend. We finish on Sunday night, so if you've been missing the Olympics, missing comp climbing, don't worry, we've got you back. Right, Eric Neuer running on. Left lane dominant so far in terms of wins. Those athletes who have qualified there because of that position. He's up against Guillermo Moro on the right. Eric Neuer breathing deeply there as he reaches for his chalk bag. He gets clipped in. Guillermo is already waiting.
At your marks.
Eric focused on the European sides of IFSC comp climbing here. A big team Spain overall here in Switzerland. It's a big start from Eric Neuer, but look on the right of your screen, Morris coming back at him slowly. Can Eric hold it together at the top? He can, but only just 5.3s for both of them. You can see the reaction on the right of your screen there. He knows how close that was. Well, Eric Neuer will move forward, but only just for the Spaniard. That was about as close as things come. We'll have to watch a replay to see exactly where it was won. I think it was in the air eventually. Let's have another look at this. Big start from Eric Neuer off the blocks, as we'd expect from him. Another angle here, right by those green lights. They turn green if it's not a full start. Guillermo Moro really came back at him, actually, during the top section of the wall. Really found something for the final 5 or so meters. And look at that clock. Tight at the top for both men. We weave quickly on. Ludovico Fassali on the left of your screen. 2 Italian teammates now, because he's up against Alessandro Bulos on the right. We'll call him Ludo, and Ludo would be the favourite on paper here for sure. Always strange when teammates race together, isn't it? I doubt it really adds anything particularly. You still want to beat your opponent, but you know your opponent intimately. And in a game like speed climbing, where so much is psychological, you never know if it does make a difference. Alessandro on the right, Ludovico on the left.
Ready.
Well, it was a much quicker start by Alessandro, but he kind of messed himself up on that explosion. He is still in it, though, but Ludo's easily going to walk away with this one. Yeah, Alessandro, he just had this start that was a little bit wild, couldn't seem to recover, and it seems like there's something going on with that left lane. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but almost every athlete has either gestured to that auto belay. Yeah, and Ludo's doing the same thing. Now, what can happen sometimes is when the auto belay isn't quick enough to keep up with the athletes, it can create a bit of a loop. So I have to see if that is what's going on, because he's 4th or 3rd athlete I've seen do that. Yeah, and there is. You can see the loop just banging around behind him. It then caught up, and Alessandro was too busy looking over at Ludo's auto belay there. Alessandro is struggling down low, and you can see that gesture immediately. Well, that will be interesting. We'll keep an eye on it. It's not going to be dangerous necessarily, but it can get in the athlete's way, which is obviously frustrating for them. Right, Marcin Dienski on the left of your screen from Poland. Gianluca Zodda on the right from Italy. Marcin Dienski, bit of a legend, and came close at the last European champs as well, back in Moscow. Munich, sorry. Moscow was the one before that. He'd love to have another shot at getting the gold here, and he's looking in good shape, but Zodda on the right with a PB of 5.3 is right in touch with his opponent, so let's see.
Ready.
Well, it's good stuff for both men. Gianluca Zodda, though, ahead at the moment. Can Marcin Dienski pull something back? No, he can't. Gianluca Zodda will move forward. And a bit of a shock there. Well, the first shock we've really seen of this competition. Gianluca will progress. Big moment for him, beating Marcin Dienski. Marcin comes immediately across, of course. Let's see where this was won. Marcin on the left. First time that left lane has been beaten here this evening. Bit draggy, perhaps, at the start, after the Tomoa. Not the best of smears, but Gianluca Todda really found something in that top quarter, stretching just fingertips, finding that pad, making that buzzer, and the timer turned green. Athletes are held, then they release. The undercarmens comes on the left-hand side. Hirihori Iltitsian on the right. 3 Ukraine athletes in this final here this evening in Villars. And if you are just joining us, hello and welcome to the European Championships in Villars-sur-Olon. My name is Matt Groom, your commentator for tonight and for the rest of the semi-finals and finals that will take place over the next couple of days. I will have special guests joining me, of course, and as always in the commentary box. The undercarmens takes out that earbud at the last moment there, stuffs it inside the chalk bag, and here we go. 5.06 versus a 5.09 in terms of PBs.
Ready.
Good start from both men. Hirihori is ahead at the moment. Can he hold it together? We enter the last stage of the race just. And a 5.18 from Hirihori Iltitsian. That is a good time for him. It's a PB as well. So Leander Carmen's beaten on the night here. Hirihori will, of course, move forward to the next round. His focus will immediately switch. You can still hear the chat then as they went off about the auto belay. It's interesting. I can see what they mean. It is a little bit flappy, isn't it? It just doesn't quite hold up. It's something the athletes practice with lots of different auto belays, and as I said, not dangerous in any way at the moment, but once you get used to a certain system or something's not exactly perfect, it can really sort of upset you as an athlete. Right, final race. Sebastian Luca on the left of your screen walks on, and Lucas Knapp on the right. Luca's somebody who could win here tonight. He's going to be up against it, though, with Sebastian Luca there, who's coming on, part of this big German team. They never seem to stop training. Every single time I look at these athletes, Instas, they are in a gym, on a wall, somewhere. Their season just never stops and getting quicker and quicker. Sebastian, though, with the PB ahead on a 5.27. Lucas with that twist and turn that we expect from him. A flick of the right arm over the top of the auto belay.
Ready.
Good start from both men, absolutely neck and neck at the moment. Lucas Knapp perhaps in the middle. Oh, Sebastian with a big slip, and then Lucas with a big slip. It's back and forth. Well, a 6.27 doesn't really say the story of that finals, because that was anyone's to win or lose. Multiple slips throughout, and it just shows you what you need to do in speed. A bit of a hesitation like that, it's not all over with. You have to keep going, and athletes showing that here in our final race for the men of this first round. So Sebastian Luca will progress, but only just. Smiles there for Lucas Knapp. He knows that could really have been anyone's. Let's see it from the beginning then. It was a quick start down low, but then the slips started happening after that. It was Sebastian who fell, but slipped first. Let's see if we can catch this on the replay. There was the slip, and there was the other one immediately afterwards. It was a little bit easier, perhaps, for Sebastian to bounce back after that one. Both athletes in their flow when the slips happened. All right, let's get confirmation of the results. And we can see now how the competition works. Ignore the times, although the times will tell you obviously who won, but it is a straight race, remember. Everyone within the 5 to 6 second range, and low fives at that. So, women's speed final time, and as I said, not as many women competing here today for the speed. So we've only brought 8 athletes through into the next round. Natalia Kluchka will be up against Liri, first of all, for Spain. Thierry Agandona there on the right of your screen. She gets herself ready to go. And on the left, Talia Kawuchka. Her sister was in the Olympics recently. And Natalia, when you look at the list of athletes here, came out in front in terms of qualifying and is the favourite on paper here tonight to take the gold medal, but a long way to go, of course. And they're now actually being instructed by the official to go back, to leave the stage. And it is a technical incident about that auto belay on line A. So we were talking about it earlier, that the athletes certainly weren't happy about it. And it is now getting looked at. I'm getting a message they might actually change the auto belay. So we are just waiting here for this auto belay confirmation. If it does need replacing, there will be a slight pause in proceedings, and we will probably just go away briefly from you. And I'll wait until I get a bit of an update here. I'll certainly be looking at some of the replays from earlier on. And when there's an issue with the auto belay, what I think it was is that sometimes it just can't keep up with the athletes. And when it can't keep up, it creates a bit of a loop in the system, which obviously is not ideal because it can hit the athletes as they try to move forward. And also, there is a safety issue. There's too much of a loop. There is a danger of the athletes touching the ground. So that will be looked at. Let's see some replays, shall we? In a minute of the action from earlier on. I'm trying to work out the gestures and the shadows there from the setting team and the organisers. One of our judges there trying to work it out. The lead wall on the right, bathed in red currently. Will be in action very soon. The Boulder wall at the other end of the arena. Fun to see Boulder come here, actually. Usually when we are in Villars for the World Cups, it's speed and lead, but we have a new wall addition to the family. Just coming up to about 8:20. We can see some of our athletes down the front from Team Germany. Watching on, supporting, and then the local kids enjoying seeing themselves on the big screen there. It's quite a crowd here as well. There's a nice atmosphere in the stadium here with food tents surrounding it. An area for the kids to climb on if they want to give it a go, and why wouldn't you after watching this, eh? So just a reminder of this pause in proceedings. There was a complaint against Lane A's auto belay, and we saw that on the faces of the men taking place in our first couple of races. Exactly what's to be done about that, we will wait and see. Well, we will prepare some replays for you while we wait, so we can watch some of the action from earlier on. In fact, let's have a look at these replays now, shall we? So let's find out what happened in the first round for the men. There's quick races throughout, despite that auto belay incident. Konstantin Pavlenko there up against Kevin Amon. It was a good race from Konstantin, really powering through the middle section. It was the top where he started to accelerate away, stretching up into that top, and a 5.4 in that second race. Third race went to Yaroslav Tkac on the left of your screen. Pretty dominant throughout that run, although closer on time than it looked on the replay. Eric Neuer, another one of the favourites here this evening, got the job done. in round one. He'll move safely through with that 5.326. And then on the left, two teammates against each other, but it was Ludovico Fasali running away with the win after the slip on the right. You can see questioning that auto belay already. Marcin Dienski, he got beaten on the left of your screen. Gianluca Zoda moving forward. Another quick race. 2 to go then in that first round. As we watch the replays of the action that we've seen, shadows on the wall. As the athletes kick their way down. Leander Carmens, he was also beaten on that left lane. Hirihori Tishin just about taking the win, but it was a close one. One in the air, look at that. A celebration from him. And our final race, Sebastian Luca on the left versus Lucas Knapp on the right. It was back and forth, a slip there and a slip here. Sebastian Luca kept with it though, stop the clock. Well, the automobile will be replaced, so we can see the cherry picker coming on to do that. So I'll leave you in some peace for now while we change things up. We'll be back with you soon. Keep us on in the background. And we'll see you in a bit. As I said, I'm going to go away. I just want to give you an update. We're actually going to rerun that competition. So, because of the auto belay situation, we will go again for that first round. So, what you got to do is ignore everything I previously said, which shouldn't be difficult for you. We'll start again. And the athletes will attempt to beat each other once more. But now I'll pause in proceedings while we have another look at the results, and I'll return when we have some action for you and a reset of the competition here tonight.
Là, je pense que pour part de la IFSC, qui veut dire avec un gros sport, c'est vrai qu'il y a plein de gens. Bon, le plus important, c'est aussi un peu la chance de se passer, il y a des mois, du coup, il y a ici ce matin, mais en revanche, merci Daniela pour votre compétence, merci beaucoup. Est-ce que le manager a annoncé, est-ce que la sortie chez nous en commence sur les trucs, les gens sont entraînés, les gens sont heureux. Imagine celui qui a l'apéro, on commence tout. Évidemment, ça le aussi c'est que ça change la donne. On va passer aux ceremonies bientôt. 4 Lola, championnat, Society, Soda, une piscine, le loupé, ça veut dire que 6 sortir sur ce road-là. Là, il y a pas de président du jeu qui va passer ici. Heureusement qu'il y a une piscine, un solar et un main de l'autre. C'est le fait un marque de la IFSC. Tu me dis, on retrouve on recommence tout à et c'est quand même sympa de recommencer. Parce qu'en l'occurrence, nous, on peut juste passer plus du temps avec vous, le public. Et en l'occurrence, c'est une compétition avec 1 heure de compétition. Et parfois, ça arrive dans les problèmes, c'est même arrivé au JO. Ça peut aussi arriver ici, et il n'y a jamais rien qui s'est passé ici à Villars. Bon, là aussi pour les filles, ça va pas être simple parce qu'elles étaient prêtes à se lancer vraiment la tête des grandeurs. Je pense que ça va pas être de la masse. En fait, les disciplines, on a été aussi en train de s'isoler. Là, je pense à la c'est la Walter suisse sur ça. On a reçu les plannings parfaits, voilà, il y a tout qui est changé, tout le monde casse, tout est acheté, tout est prendre, c'est pas grave, on fait comme ça. En plus, je veux évidemment, merci Sergei, n'allez pas. On a le président qui est en train d'expliquer un peu aux champions derrière le concours du moment. Bon, regardez là, la tête du champion d'Europe là. Allez, Eric, vous voulez dire on va être champion d'Europe avec les îles. Là, ils sont là, on a dit, ça va être chaud pour la République. Il faut y retourner. Ah, c'est le sport, c'est comme ça. Moi, je trouve que c'est assez frustrant pour ceux qui sont passés, c'est qu'en l'occurrence, ça ne s'enroule pas assez vite. Donc, si ça avait juste plus tiré sur la gauche en télé, en l'occurrence, ça ne s'enroule pas assez vite. Imagine actuellement, de l'autre côté des montagnes, il est en train de se faire une TFT, mais à la fin, il y a
Well, everyone, we are nearing the end of this technical incident break, and in the meantime, I've acquired a co-commentator. Matthew Fall is in the commentary box with you. Matthew, for people who don't know you, just give us a lowdown on who you are.
So I'm Matthew Fall. I've been on Team GB for, this is my third season on now. I've done a couple of these commentary gigs now, due to virtue of not making finals that often, but yeah, not quite the best comp today, but always good to be back in the booth.
It's lovely to have you here. But yeah, as you said, missing out on tonight's final, and you were telling me the story earlier on. You had to kind of go for it in the second round.
Yeah. My first run definitely wouldn't have been up to standard, and I could see the times coming in, and I thought, gosh, I'm going to have to put something quite fast down, probably close to PB, if not PB. So I knew straight away, second run, you just have to give it everything. And sometimes it paid off, sometimes it doesn't, and today it didn't. I slipped about halfway, clocked something like 11 or 12, and then obviously it didn't quite make it this time, but we still got a couple more left in the season, so a few more chances.
Absolutely, and good luck to you on that one. And we were talking about the women's record for GB as well.
Absolutely.
Broken, finally.
Yes, the wait is over. Sorry, Shauna. But yeah, Ava Gracie Hamilton, massive shout out to her. Pulled out 8.6 today, so an outrageous, like not just broken, absolutely shattered me. That's almost half a second gone there. So yeah, not bad at all for GB today. Well-fielded team, and the results seem to pay off, especially in the women's.
Good. Well, looking forward to you guys making some finals, hopefully soon.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, exactly that. Well, if you're just joining us and wondering what on earth is going on, we had a technical incident in the first round of the men's competition. So although we ran all the races, we will reset the races. The auto belay on the left has been changed, and it was an issue to do with the reaction of the auto belay itself. So if it isn't fast enough to keep up with the athletes, it can create a loop in the system, which not only gets in the way if you're trying to climb quickly, but obviously there is a safety issue to consider as well. So forget everything we talked about before. We're going to restart, thankfully, with a very knowledgeable athlete next to me. And the first race will be Matteo Zaloni versus Matteo Garnier for the first round of the men's. And darkness starting to fall now. What's it like out there, Matt? You've been out there. Is it a bit chilly?
It's not too bad, actually. I think it was almost a bit too warm today, well, for the Brits at least. But the conditions have cooled down quite a lot. The wall was really nice today anyway, and it's only going to get better. Holds super fresh. Now the wall texture itself will be even stickier than earlier. Very low humidity as well, so it's about as perfect as it can get out there.
And yet, we're probably not likely to see world records here. Both world record holders aren't at this comp.
Yes, both of them. Miroslav, of course, I think I should be taking a break after her Olympics, and Sam, of course. not eligible for this one due to not being European. But Matteo Zeleni's putting in some pretty good times. I spoke to him earlier. He said he was, not in the best shape, given that he's been, taking a bit of time off post-Olympics, as he rightly should be. But, I mean, he's been putting in some pretty good times so far already, so you never know.
Yeah, he won his first race fairly easy. For a man who's on holiday, he's done well there.
Yeah, it's not a bad vacation, eh?
So, look, Matt, for people listening who want to know more about speed climbing, it's a very different sport from lead and boulder, for example. So what kind of characteristics do you need as a speed athlete?
So, I guess the best way to compare it is in the differences in training styles, right? Like, speed climbing is a lot more physical, a lot more explosive, and it's much more similar to, I guess, athletics than it even is to lead or boulder. Think of it as the 100-meter dash of the climbing world. This route is identical all over the world. Every training run, every competition, both Olympics, Euros, World Cups, they'll all be competing on this exact same route, which means you can really drill down on that beta and that sequence. So these people will have rehearsed this thousands, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of times. So expect to see lots of muscle memory kicking in.
Yeah, and sorry, just to interrupt you. I was focused somewhere else. We're also being told there might be another technical incident with one of the holds, although it is a hold that isn't used. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But we'll keep you updated. We've got the judges on a group. So, there's going to be a little bit of a pause. Well, yes, we have got confirmation of that now. So one of the holds that is being used, ironically the one that isn't actually used, I presume it's that one on the top left of our screen, near the top.
Oh, would it be?
Well,
I can barely even notice. I mean, it's not. It's so unused. I don't even know where it's supposed to be. Hold way out left. Hold number 17. You can see the total lack of chalk on there. Oh, we've lost light.
Yes, it's all going very well here this evening. Oh, lights back, we're okay.
There you go.
Yes,
Turn it off and on again.
Now, it might not be that hole, but from the information I've been given, it's the one that's not used, so I presume it is that one. But obviously, it can, I guess, throw you off a little bit, especially if it's in your vision in the wrong place.
Absolutely. I think it will be a technical thing with the wall being officially homologated. So this is a wall where you can run national, continental, and, of course, world records. And in order for that, every single hold, even the holds that you don't use, have to be in exactly the right position. It's one of the weird technicalities of speed. I think they should just get rid of the hold, to be honest. I think we should update it next year. No one's touching that.
I agree with you, but I know how precious people are about the rules and how things are. So good luck in that meeting, put it like that. But yeah, that is what's going on now. So there'll be another pause. We can see the cherry picker coming in. And actually, I kind of want to see which hold they change now. If it goes up, we're right. And it is going up.
Here we go.
I think it is going up towards the top, isn't it? All right, well, everyone, we're going to have another brief pause in proceedings here while this is changed. We'll be back soon to rerun the first round of the men, so stick with us and we'll see you in a bit. So here we go, everyone. We're going to restart here in Villars-sur-Olens. We might as well restart everything. Welcome to the European Championships. We're here for the speed finals. The qualifying took place earlier on, and now these athletes are the ones who have made it through this far. And we will start all over again. So Matteo Zelloni versus Matteo Garnier, and I'm here with Matthew Ford. Do you prefer Matt or Matthew?
Weirdly, as I've done more speed, I've become more of a Matt.
Okay.
I was Matthew until I started speed climbing. I think it's a quicker name, so easier to get through on the wall.
We'll go with Matt Full then. And this is the women's results here. Not as many athletes competing overall, so we took less through into the final. So we start with the semi-finals straight away. And Matt, what's been the reaction for you since the Olympics and stuff? In fact, well, you've got to go do something, but I'll be back in a sec. But we are looking right now at these results, and then the women's comp will take place after the men's first round. Right, so here we go. The first two men run onto the stage. Matteo Zelloni on the left of your screen, Matteo Garnier on the right. And Matt, is this a tricky one for these athletes? Obviously, they have to reset everything in terms of their mentality as well.
This will be a weird one. I think for those athletes obviously who didn't win their first race, they will be counting their lucky stars right now. You know, they get another try. For those who did win, they might be feeling a little bit hard done by. But I mean, you know, this is not the first time that we've had to do reruns for all sorts of reasons. I think weather's the most common one.
Well, here we go. At your marks is called. The athletes approach the wall. We go again. Matteo on the left won the first time we went through this. Can he do it again? Well, that is a quick start again. He is slightly ahead, as he was before, and he was fast through the top section last time, and he is again. In fact, maybe slightly better. Matteo Zelloni moves forward.
I think that's sort of as expected. The good thing about these European Cups is that, of course, there's a bit more of a spread in the times in the qualifying. I think we're getting used to in World Cup now. The top 16 are all within 0.1, 0.2 of each other. So it's nice to see a bit more of a spread, and see some athletes who might not normally be used to a final setting being able to compete on the big stage.
I love how you say more of a spread. There's about half a second in it for this thing. It's so small, these margins.
It is, but half a second's a fair amount when you're dealing with 5-6 seconds.
That's true.
Much closer in the world, much further than in the World Cups anyway.
Well, it was fast for Matteo Zelloni, streaking up. He's on a bit of apparently a downtime from the Olympics. Doesn't look like it at the moment, beating his opponent easily. Okay, so second race will come up. Konstantin Pavlenko approaches at the left of the stage, and then Kevin Amon on the right. He was beaten, so he's one who's going to be hoping for the best.
Yes, and this will be, we'd expect a much closer race, because these will be the people who qualified in 8th and 9th, so much closer times, whereas the first one was, of course, 1st versus 16th. So expect a slightly more interesting race here. I think they'll both be pushing quite hard. But even on paper, they're quite similar. So
they are very similar on paper, yes, you're right. In fact, we can see it there, 5.3s for their PBs.
There you go. Kevin Mon had, of course, a blinder in Salt Lake this year, taking the bronze medal in his first World Cup medal there.
Yes, it was a great run from him. Can he repeat something here tonight? But he will need to do better than the first time he went through this. It's a quick start from Konstantin, but look at Kevin Amon, who is bringing it back at the top. This could be anyone's in the air, but no, Kevin gets beaten again.
And that might be a PB for Konstantin as well.
Yeah, 5.308, yes, so that is, because it's 5.33 before.
Yes, and Kevin's looking quite happy on the way down there.
So when you said earlier that the wall there is a good wall, what kind of things do you look at for a good wall?
So I think the biggest one is wall text. I mean, the holds are identical now all over the circuit, and they are absolutely massive. Good quality, good jugs there. The wall text is really important because obviously there's a few very important smears, and usually big slips happen whenever a smear goes wrong. So watch out for this first smear here on the Tomoa skip. That's a really important one there. And yeah, some walls, especially ones that get a lot of sunshine and a lot of humidity, those walls tend to be a little bit slippier. So we tend to see slower times on those walls and a lot more mistakes. But this wall, I mean, it's been out of the sun and it's been very dry for this whole season. So Yeah, this is about as good as the wall texture gets.
Excellent. Well, let's hope these times keep coming then. Yaroslav Tkac on the left thumps the wall before he gets going. Miguel on the right from Spain. He was also beaten in this first round. Yaroslav from the Olympics. He's another one who's on a sort of a holiday, I guess, but doesn't look like it.
No, very, very high energy holiday.
He won the European Cup last year, so it's something that he would like to get again, I think.
No, I think so, and yeah, fair discrepancy to the personal best there down the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, it's quick from Yaroslav. He's close to breaking that magic 5-second barrier, which we're seeing happen more and more in competitions now. Miguel on the right will turn last, approach the wall, and that's the starter pad. The athletes have 1 foot on that. That registers the full start. Yaroslav with a bit of an explosion off. Miguel was ahead, he's now behind, and Yaroslav will take this pretty easily with a 5.26, and a bit of frustration from Miguel there.
Again, not bad from me. I'm not even sure if that was frustration. I think that might have just been explosion.
Happy explosion.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
It's always difficult with speed climbers. There's kind of one level. It's just like shouting on the wall.
You can't tell the shouts are happy or sad or something.
No, I really can't. Well, Yaroslav, though, will be happy with that one. Job done. He moves forward, as we kind of would have expected from that. But it wasn't the best of start from him, but he got going later on.
No, exactly. I think especially in this sort of race, he will be trying to play it quite safe, especially because he knows that on paper he should have this win, so he wouldn't have needed to go 100% there. But there's always a risk with that, of course. If you sort of get out of your flow, out of your rhythm, then it's quite easy to make mistakes, either if you're going too fast because you're super energized, or if you're going too slow because you're taking it a bit easy. Yeah, there's a lot of tactics in these Euro Cups.
There are so many, and it's what makes this aspect of the sport so brilliant to watch. Right, Eric Neuer on the left, Guillermo Moro on the right. Guillermo beaten pretty soundly by Eric in the first run of this.
Absolutely, but again, on paper, they're both pretty close. I think we could see, if we get good runs from Beach here, then I think they'll be pushing each other.
Yeah, we could indeed. Well, darkness has fully descended on the stadium here now. We saw some sunset earlier on. It's just blackness and spotlights now, which adds to the atmosphere here. 5.01 versus a 5.25 in terms of PBs.
Ready?
Well, it's a big start from both athletes, but then Guillermo immediately has a bit of a hesitation. He's behind, and Eric should take this easily. It was all lost at the start then.
That was unfortunate there. I think Guillaume was really lucky to get a redo, and you know, that's the first slip I think we've seen so far this round, though, right?
We had a little bit of a back and forth between Sebastian Luca and Lucas Knapp.
Oh, in sort of the previous, previous round of 16.
It's hard to know what we're talking about here with this one. But yes, in this round of the 16,
yes,
then yes, we're all good. Let's watch on the right if we can see it. That little slip we went for there was one of the pause.
Yeah, little slip on the Tomoe. I spoke too soon.
So the Tomoe is that let's jump here, isn't it? There.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So people have been skipping hold 4, that one out left, for quite a while. Obviously, it started with Reza Adipushin Zandifar with the eponymous Reza skip. And since then, it's been modified by Tomoe Narisaki to an even more complicated, even more challenging, but ultimately faster move.
All right, well, Ludovico Passali came on. He was one of the ones who was very unhappy with that Urte Bile on the left and up against his teammate, Alessandro Munoz. Now, I remember when Ludovico had a real issue with the Urte Bile in Rome as well for the qualifier.
Yes, he did. He's always been a big advocate for sort of athlete safety and sort of fairness in the sport. I'm surprised that he sort of, you know, worried about it despite him winning. I think that was quite good of him, really, because he knew ultimately there could well be a redo, and he put himself under a bit more pressure. So kudos to him there.
Yeah, it's a really good point, actually, so fair play to him. All right, well, we go again. Ludovico Fassali up against his teammate. Ludo has this on paper, but we'll see. Well, it is a good start. Alessandro way quicker. He slipped last time. It's much closer this race. Who's going to take it? But then a pause at the top, and Ludo does take it with a good time.
Absolutely. Ludo has to hustle there as well. He was considerably behind at the start.
I think Alessandro had a bit of a slip in the first go because he's so frantic down at the bottom. It's like legs moving faster than anything going on there, and it's a bit risky. Let's watch this again.
Ludo's always such a smooth climber. He's always a fun one to watch. When he's climbing, it looks slow, but then you look at the time and it's 5.1 or 4, even 4.9 in Briançon, of course. And yeah, I don't quite know how he does it. He's a very efficient climber. Obviously, that comes down to a lot of experience. He's been on the circuit for a long time.
Yeah, that medal in Briançon was a special moment for him, and he would love to get another one. All right, is it final? It's not quite. Leander Carmen, sorry, Marcin Zienski versus Jean-Luc Zoda. 3 to go here for the first 16 for the men.
Absolutely. And it was Gianluca who took this on the first
Yes, it
16,
was.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Marcin,
yeah,
the first one beaten on the left. So this is an interesting one, because Marcin Zienski didn't have the best of runs, and for him, he'll enjoy this chance to go again.
No, absolutely, absolutely, and especially because, you know, obviously the people on the left are those who qualified ahead of the people on the right. It's the so-called faster lane, although of course the lanes are identical. So that was the only sort of real quote-unquote upset we saw in the first round.
Yeah, it was. Let's see if he can reset that upset. Well, it's good from both at the moment, but Marcin is still a little behind, but this is better from him on the left, and a big slip for Gianluca Zoda sent him down.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
Oh, poor Gianluca.
that's just must be so frustrating.
Absolutely. Imagine you've won your first round of 16, get forced to redo it, and then,
Yeah.
oh, that's really unfortunate, actually.
It is. Gianluca took off his shoe, nearly threw it in frustration, thought about a yellow card and didn't. So fair enough for keeping that in. Yeah, let's see that if we can see this slip. It was at the top, wasn't it?
That race was much tighter, though, that time. I think that it was difficult to call for the first half, and then just an unfortunate tumble at the top for Gianluca there. Let's see if we can see what happened.
I agree with you. It was so, so close, and let's see there.
Oh, just a little left foot slip there. Just, he didn't quite have it high enough on that foothold. I think that was probably because he was being pushed by sort of feeling Marcin's presence next to him.
Yeah, the pressure told, perhaps. All right, next race, Leander Carmen's the other one who was beaten on the left lane. This is Hirihori Iltisian on the right. So, a chance for Leander Carmen's to do something here. It's quite a flex in that wall. It's not quite as bad as it looks. Our camera is literally attached to it, I think, which makes it shake.
Leander's just that strong.
Yeah, just pulling the speedball down. Now, that would be a technical incident. We'd have to reset at that point. Well, the athletes chalk up finally. They get strapped onto the auto belay. The audience drops into silence as we get ready for our penultimate race here in the first 16. Deep breaths there, caught on our camera. All right, it's a good start from both. Hirihori is way ahead, and he's going to be further ahead now. Oh, but that big slip. This could be anyone to the top. Liana takes it.
Oh, he's furious, Hirihori.
Well, again, he goes
Leander's
down.
not happy either, though.
I mean, I can't even begin to analyse that, Matt. I mean, what went on with that one?
God, so I think we need to see it in the replay. There were so many things. So Leander lost it at the start, and then Hirihori lost it towards the top. Leander lost it again, but slightly less. And then
well, let's see it, shall we? Because that was a good description, by the way. So it all started off as we'd expect. So we get the close-ups here with the focus on their faces. It was all good. And then the carnage started near the top. That was the first of the slips.
Big slip for Leander there. Regained it. Then
double?
2 big slips for Hirihori there.
Because I think he would have had that if he'd carried on.
Yeah, he absolutely would. And that was really good from Leander, actually, sort of having a slip like that and then being able to reset and push that hard, because those things do happen. You know, if you're on the right, you will notice that happening on your left, and that can really mess with your mind. You know, sometimes you might think, oh, I can slow down a bit, or oh, I really need to push now, or it can just get in the way, interfere with your thought process, and that's what we saw there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard one for the athletes. It's fascinating for us watching. It really is this. All right, last race in the 16, Sebastian Luque versus Lucas Knapp. Sebastian moved forward before, so Lucas has a chance to go again. Team Germany right now, I can just imagine how angry you'd be, you know, at the judges, at everyone. It's tough.
Wow, speed climbing though.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why you guys do it. I have so much respect for you. All right, Lucas turns, faces the wall. Let's get ready to go again, shall we?
Ready.
Close with the wrong hold.
Yes. All right, back in action. Big one for Sebastian Luque. Lucas Knapp coming back at him, though. Can he pull something out of the bag? No. Sebastian Luque will move forward. And that was a good race. Lucas applauding him then. He knows that was smooth.
Absolutely. I think Sebastian there was running faster than Lucas Knapp's PB, so you know, there's only so much you can do when you're racing an athlete of that caliber.
Absolutely.
Sebastian's one of those ones with excellent form as well. You know, he does know how to put down a good run and put it down consistently.
Yeah, you're right about the consistency actually with him, and he does work so hard on it as well. He's one of those he seems to be training when no one else is training.
Absolutely. Although Lucas Knapp's had a good season as well. Of course, he took the win in front of his home crowd in Innsbruck for the European Cup there.
Yeah, you were with me, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
It feels like a long time ago now.
It does, actually, yeah.
It really does. That was back earlier on in Innsbruck, the European Cup as part of the World Cup there.
I have to say, they were good top section for Lucas Knapp there. I think he must have had a slight... I don't think it was a proper mistake, just, you know, wasn't the fastest start he'd ever done, but he did pull out some good top section there.
Right, let's have a look at the results, shall we? These are the proper results this time. So a couple of changes from the first round we had to reset. But interesting start. Marcin Dienski will face Ludovico Fasali. That's obviously changed there. And Leander Carmens, he moves forward. So interesting stuff. Well, we'll change now to the women's races. I say race, but multiples, of course, and here are the results. So, look, let's talk about favourites here for a sec, because Natalia Kluicka has got to be the favourite.
It's hard not to put her up there, eh? I think shy of a mistake, Natalia Kluicka should be hoping to take this. Of course, I think her sister is in the crowd as well. Alexandra bronze medalist Alexandra Kluicka is in the crowd.
That's so. We need to give her a correct title. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Team Poland bringing quite a big squad here. Okay, well, we got this far last time. Larry on the right of your screen and Natalia Kluicka on the left.
I think, was it the last European Championships where the Polish women, I think they took first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, or something ridiculous. They took an incredible number of top spots.
Yeah, I can't remember back to fifth, but certainly, yes, on the podium. Is that?
It's a seriously dominant team.
Yeah, they really are, and obviously their teammate winning Olympic gold recently, Alexander Miroslav. Right, here we go, women's first round. Natalia on the left, but don't look away. Anything can happen here, but it is a good start from her, but a bit of a hesitation, a bit of a falter. Opponent is slower here, and Natalia will slow things down. Not the fastest time ever, but it didn't really matter.
No, that was pretty comfortable for Natalia. I mean, they've almost got 2 seconds between their personal best there. But again, you can't slow down too much because, you know, 2 seconds is just one bad mistake.
Yeah. And I think we saw that in her run, actually. She didn't look settled.
No, I think, especially in races like that where you feel like you ought to win, that can really play on your mind. I think someone as dominant as Natalia, though, might be used to that at this point.
Yeah, she certainly should be, but it had a bit of a drag down low, and then it just wasn't quite there on the top section. I mean, there she started to pick up the pace a bit, and she has got a good top. But now 7.136, she can go faster than that, but won't really care at this stage. Safely through. Okay, next race, Julia Randi versus Carla Vidal Martinez.
Once again, expect a much closer race this time. These are, of course, people who qualified in, it would have been 4th and 5th, so much closer to each other in time.
Yeah, this could be another good one. Julia Randi has been one to watch in the last couple of seasons.
So was Carla Martinez, to be fair.
Carla Martinez, to be fair, yeah. Yeah, this is a really good race, actually, isn't it? 6.85 versus 7.12. That doesn't really tell the full story, though.
Ready?
Well, it's quick from both women. Carla was slightly ahead, and she's keeping it together through the middle. Can Julia pull something out the top? It's going to be really close, this, but yes, Julia Randi just gets away with it.
There we go. That was a much closer race there, but they're both putting clean runs, so I don't think either of them will be too upset with that one.
No, safely through. Someone was screaming at the top. I'm giving up guessing if it was happy or sad now. I don't know. You're going to have to tell me.
Oh, I don't even know for that one.
Well, however it worked out, Carla will leave us for tonight.
Good clean racing for both. They're good sportsmanship shown as well, of course.
That was the explosion off the starting pad. And up they went, out of our camera shot. We switched to the crane view here. And Julia Randi did have to fight for it, though. It wasn't easy for her.
She did, yeah. I do think she looked a little smoother through that top section, though. I think Carla is very explosive, but she had to put on a bit more of a fight there. Oh, speaking of explosive, we've got Patricia Hujiak coming out and Anna Brocek.
So, well, what do you mean by that? So 2 athletes who give it everything, right?
Absolutely. These are 2 of the most explosive women on the circuit.
I like the headphones on to the very last second as well. Well, both women are looking explosive, aren't they?
There we go.
They can't stand still out there. Back and forth. Patricia with that deep breath that she takes before. Wow, you can feel the tension suddenly rising, can't you, in the stadium? This is going to be a big one. Well, both go, and it is explosive straight away, but Patricia is slightly ahead at the moment as we approach the top section. Who's going to take it? It is Patricia Ujak.
Very nice, and not even that far off her PB as well. She's had an incredible season, finally breaking under 7, the magic 7 mark. Though we're saying that as Miroslav's on her way to break 6. Just shows how dominant she is. But of course, that's an excellent run from both, and chatting on the way down there. Obviously, good camaraderie between the teammates.
Yeah, it's funny you say that time, because you are correct, of course. And I think, especially with the women's side of things, things seem to be progressing really quickly at the moment.
Absolutely. I think that was one of the biggest surprises for me at the Olympics, was how quickly the non-Miroslav women adjusted. Because obviously Miroslav broke world record, and then it felt like a switch just sort of flicked on the women's circuit, and they suddenly were like, oh, hang on, I can run 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" as well. And then all of a sudden we saw this huge cascade of times across the board. And I'm quite excited to see what the next couple of circuits are going to look like. I think there's a good number of people who are now pushing that top end. See, Miroslav is still world record holder and has been for quite a while now. But there are quite a few who are coming close now.
Yes, they are. And this lady is one who could in the future as well. Patricia Colli, she's fresh in the Olympics as well, up against Julia Koch on the right. Yeah, Patricia is so focused when she does this competition. But what I love about watching her is you could tell exactly what she's thinking throughout.
Absolutely, she really wears her expression on her sleeve, doesn't she?
She does indeed. Right, here we go. Julia Koch will be up against this here with a 7.68 versus a 6.84 in terms of PBs. We do occasionally see Patricia make mistakes. Well, it's a clean start. Patricia Colli starts to pull her head down low. Julia just not looking settled yet, and Patricia should take this pretty easily, and she does.
Very smooth one from Beatrice there.
Yeah.
Interesting, we're seeing her, keep an eye on her middle section on the replay. You'll see the women are slowly switching over to this sort of sort of a one-handed dyno in the middle section. We've seen that on the men's field for a good number of years now, and it's good to see the women start to adopt it as well. They're now sort of pushing at the times where it becomes useful.
Maybe you can point it out.
Yeah,
actually,
absolutely. We'll wait till we get the replay here.
Because I love the minutiae of this. It's something we don't always see, and especially it's hard to see.
Actually, not entirely sure if Julia Koch does it. We'll have to have a look.
Julia's on the right here.
Yes, keep an eye on Beatrice on the left there. So see that difference there on hold 10. Beatrice hits it with one hand and matches into 11, whereas Julia's still matching on 10 and going double into 11 and 12. That one-hander beater is more tenuous. It's a difficult position to hold, especially when you're not moving at very fast speeds, because you're balancing on one hand and one opposite leg, whereas with the dyno you've obviously got two hands on the wall. But you're cutting out a whole movement there. So long term it is faster. It's sort of one of those higher risk, higher reward moves. And I think it's only a matter of time before we see the majority of the women on the circuit hitting that move in competition.
Can't wait to see that. So much exciting times ahead. But right now we turn back to the men. It's semi-final time. Matteo Zelloni on the left, sorry, quarter-final time. And then Konstantin Pavlenko on the right. That was a round ahead.
Well, you always be fair.
Well, exactly. You can excuse me that one, can't you? So here we go. World champion on the left of your screen. Let's see what he can do here. Well, what a start from Konstantin. Matteo Zelloni is going to have to find something here at the top, and I think he has done, yes.
He was pushed all the way to the end there, though, and Konstantin can't be too mad at that. A 5-1, I think that would be PB for him as well, if I'm not mistaken, assuming the graphics are up to date.
Well, it is, and what's that? He was especially strong down low, really quick.
Yeah, I think we'll see that on the replay. He was a fair way ahead. I think part of that was just reaction time, but he did have a very explosive Tomoa skip there. Matteo is, of course, one with an excellent top section as well, though.
Yeah, it was all power down low on the right. This is Matteo's feet, I guess, with the Italian flags on that. And yeah, he was so quick on the right. And you think Matteo had just
caught up by the middle there. I mean, 5:03 it's not bad for him.
It's great. In fact, we're at the European Championships and we're so close to 5 seconds. It just shows the level here. This could be a World Cup. So Eric Neuer is up against it with Yaroslav Tkac here. Experience versus youth. Oh, the youth. Someone doing Eric Neuer. Eric will know what I mean. But, Eric is someone who's just been on the circuit for such a long time.
Such a friendly face on the circuit as well.
Not anymore. He's going to kill me now I said that. I'm in trouble.
Friendly face to everyone else on the circuit.
Yeah, let's see if Eric can do something, because Yaroslav would like to take this one, but this is a tough race for him.
absolutely. Eric Noyes found some incredible form almost overnight in Chamonix, going from 5.2 to 5.0 in the span of a single competition. I can't think of many other athletes who have done that. So I haven't quite seen those times from him so far at this competition, but you know, he's still got a few more rounds left in him.
Yeah, the big stages is what he likes to be on. And this is a big one. Let's see what happens here. It's clean from both. Eric slightly ahead. Yaroslav coming back at him. Oh, Yaroslav slips. It's all over for him. Eric takes it. And that was, yeah, done when Yaroslav slipped.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, shows the experience from Eric there. Not being too thrown off by another person slipping, not letting it affect his run. You know, running a solid 5.2 there again.
Yeah, good one. Yaroslav, hands on his hips. He'll be disappointed with that. And a big slip, no time.
It's unfortunate there. I have to see on the replay. I totally missed what's happening.
Yeah, it was all quick, wasn't it? I mean, it was very,
It
very
often is, Matt.
What? I've been watching this in slow motion. But yeah, Yaroslav was up with him all the way through the bottom. I would have really given him a push, but let's see where the slip
I think he was actually slightly ahead in the middle there.
Yeah.
I think he must have just missed his hand slightly there. It didn't look like he slipped or anything, but I think he must have. On that match on 11,
Yeah.
you've got to be very precise, because although the holds are big, you know, when you're putting both your hands in the same portion of the hold, you've got to be very precise. There's not a lot of room for error. And so I guess his hands must have overlapped on each other, and then from there it's really hard to regain that momentum.
Yeah, so commiserations to him. He will leave, and we move on to our next race now. Ludovico Fossali on the left, Marcin Zienski on the right. Marcin coming back after losing the first round that was restarted, so he's on a second life here. And Ludovico, the emotion he showed after that gold in Briançon was just wonderful to watch it.
It had been such a long time between that and his previous World Cup medal, so it's so exciting to see someone, you know, who can push and persevere for such a long time, and not only that, but with a sub-5 in the big final as well. It's like the end to a movie, really.
It was massive. Let's see if he can do it again. At the moment, he's quick. Marcin slips. He's out of it unless something happens here. Ludo will take it with a 5.079.
Very nice. And it's again, it didn't look like he was trying. I mean, obviously he was, but he's just so smooth on the wall.
Yeah, beautiful.
Seems almost effortless out there.
It does. Marcin will leave us finally.
Another unfortunate. So I think as we're seeing the athletes get closer and closer in time, you know, they're having to push each other. And, you know, maybe if they could have relaxed a little bit in the round of 16, what we're seeing now is, of course, they're racing athletes who are much closer to them in time, so they're having to hustle, which is why we're seeing a few more mistakes, I reckon. The wall's definitely not gotten any worse. If anything, it's gotten better. Yeah,
temperatures dropping down here in Villars. That was the top. A big slip from Marcin sent him down.
Unfortunate.
So two teammates against each other. Leander on the left, Sebastian Luca on the right. Do you like racing your team? I think I asked you this before, but do you like it or not?
It depends. If it's in qualies, I love it because it's someone I'm really used to racing. You know, for example, myself and Andy or myself and Luke, we've been, you know, multiple times a week we're in sessions together. But in a final, it must suck. I mean, we haven't gotten to that stage yet. But yeah, it must feel awful to knock out your teammate. Bittersweet.
Well, it's going to happen now. One of these men will move forward. One will have to leave us. Let's get underway here. So Sebastian Luca with a 5.24 PB up against Leander Carmans with a quicker time.
Ready?
Well, it's a good start from Sebastian, and Leander swings himself off the wall immediately.
There. Yeah, hard to see what happened there. I think he was just must have missed either a hand or a foot or both, and then just momentum swung him off there.
It was a bit
good clean run from Sebastian there, though. I think when you see a fall like that, you know you just need to get to the top.
Yeah, it was a big fall as well. I mean, as you said, we didn't see it kind of swung out of view.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens on the replay there.
Oh, he will leave. He's looking down at his right hand. Maybe a bit of an injury there. Who knows? He'll leave us. Let's see a replay here. This was Leander at the start, so it won't show us.
It's a shame. He's been looking so good all competition as well.
I think we might miss it on this angle as well. Yeah, it was.
Foot was fine. It would have been hands then. Yeah, his left foot was absolutely fine there. So we'll see it from the top view now.
Yeah, let's see this.
Oh yeah, dry fire off the Tomoa there.
Wow. Not something you see very often. That you see it on the smear.
Yeah. Hand dry fire is quite a rare one. Yeah. It's more dangerous though, because if your hands dry fire, then you're off.
Yes, very true. Okay, well, we'll get the results for this one. We'll move on to the women, and we are going to have a changing commentator in a minute, aren't we?
Yes, we are. I think we are bringing in British women's record holder, Ava Hamilton.
Yeah, Ava will be joining us in a bit, but I think you're with us for this one, so that's good. So Natalia Kuruchka versus Julia Randy. And this is for the women. They won't be knocked out at this stage. We'll have small final and final here. So gold and silver and bronze and fourth will be decided. So I won't say goodbye to them. And for the men, same situation for these four now. They'll fight it out to see who gets forward into which final, but they won't leave us. So the pressure goes off just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Although no one wants to go into the small final because, as you say, that is the worst race.
It's terrible. I tell you what was terrible was the Olympics. That was
it's heartbreaking.
It was awful. I mean, awful, brilliant spectacle for sport, but if you cared about it, it just broke our hearts a bit. All right, Matt, you're going to leave us.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to go watch these finals in person.
When's the next comp for you? When will we see you again?
So I have my national championships next weekend, and then the following weekend is my last competition, the European Cup over in Bologna. Not doing the last World Cups of the season, unfortunately. But no, it's been a good season, actually. It's been good. I think, on the whole, times have improved. Had my first sub-6, of course, in Chamonix, which I was very happy about. That's been a long time coming. Of course, we can always ask for more, and I hope to get more in the final two competitions. But time will tell. We'll just keep training and training hard until then.
It will do. Well, thank you so much, Matt. We will see you in a bit.
Thank you for having me.
And I'll, good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Well, we're just introducing the athletes who have got through to this stage. We reintroduce them so not only the athletes can just take in the moment, but the audience can be appreciated as well for them. Patricia, last one to leave. She was waiting for the men, I think. There she goes, with a smile on her face. And we're bringing in Ava into the commentary box right now, another member of Team GB here this evening. Well, she gets ready. We'll wait for the men to be introduced. So the men are being introduced. Matteo Zaloni runs on first of all. A little bit cold out there. And this is a good time to introduce my new co-commentator. So Ava, tell us, first of all, your first name, your second name. Who are you for those who don't know you?
Hi, how's everyone doing? I'm Ava. Can you hear me? Yes. I was competing today in Villars. It was my second international competition. So that was very exciting. Just excited to be here, and I managed to get the British record earlier today, previously held by Shauna Coxey from the Olympics ages ago, so it's also very exciting. Just very psyched to be here watching the finals, and thank you very much for having me, Matt. A bit unexpected. Sorry in advance if I am not living up to the standard of Matthew.
It's love it, and congratulations on that record, because it is a fantastic achievement to have.
Thank you.
And have you enjoyed your time in Villars here? What's it like competing out on that stage?
Oh, absolutely incredible. I love it here. I've never been here. This summer's been amazing because I've been able to travel to Chamonix and various beautiful locations for competitions, which has just been such a cool experience. I love it. It seems like such a nice place to be, and all the people as well really make it special. All the speed climbers are so lovely to hang out with.
Yeah, it is a great place to go climbing, isn't it? And to be as well. And the atmosphere here in stadiums, it's cool. There's lots of people coming in from the surrounding bars and local area, and everyone is on their feet cheering the athletes, so it's great to see.
Yeah, speed's so televisual and exciting to watch as well. Always gets the crowd really excited. Whenever I've been at a speed competition like this, even the smaller comp as well, it gets really exciting.
Okay, so the men's speed final. These are the athletes who've got through this far. And Ava, this moment, I mean, we were saying earlier on how it's, in a way, the pressure is off because you get to run again. But no one wants to make it to that small final, do they?
Yeah. I've actually been in this position once ever of like the 4 competitions I've done. And it was my first one, and I never expected to get that far. I ended up coming fourth, but it is like, it's a weird situation. So yeah, it's quite exciting. I'd like to be in the first and second position.
All right, well, we wait now. I can see the athletes being gathered. The women will run first. So we're just having one last look at these results and the times the athletes have got to get this far. A few false starts or falls along the way. And here we go. So Natalia Kuruchka versus Julia Randy. And we've been saying that Natalia is probably the favourite for this whole competition. But this is a pressurised race with Julia Randy.
Yeah, extremely. I don't know either of the climbers personally, but obviously they're both insane. Everybody here is insane. Such a cool environment. It's going to be pretty close, I think. Anything can happen with speed, as we all know. So we'll see.
Exactly. Well, the athletes turn. Natalia Kuruchka on the left, Julia Randy on the right. Pretty close PBs, but with Natalia the favourite to take this right now. Can we see another upset here in Villars? Well, it is a good start for both. Natalia Kuruchka starting to pull ahead through the middle now. As she gets to the top, this is where she's quickest. That little skip, and she finishes off with a 6.82 and moves forward. Quick time to be had there from Natalia Kuruchka. Job done for her.
Yeah, I guess it was the result we expected, but Julia put in such good effort. It was a shame about the slip at the top, actually. That would have been a really impressive time.
Let's have a look from the bottom then. So both women fast down low, loving these shots tight in on the eyes of the athletes as they get going. Easy through the beginning, springing through. Natalia really picked things up towards the top. From here onwards, she just looks so dominant. And yeah, that slip on the right, unfortunate from her.
They're just so fast. I'm just so in awe of them.
Have you come from other sports to get into speed climbing, or were you a climber before?
Yeah, just bouldering and lead. I've done like youth comps all my life. I only really got into speed about a year and a half ago. I started to actually focus on it. Decided I wanted to do more comps. I don't do competitive bouldering anymore, but obviously still do boulder a lot.
Awesome.
Do it for the fun.
Well, Patricia Huciak on the left of your screen. She's up against it with Patricia Colli here. And Patricia looking super focused on the right. She's been had a good team around her for the Olympics and has continued that momentum here in the European Cup, the European Championship, sorry.
Ready?
So Patricia with a very quick start, and Patricia hesitating on the right. She's got a lot of ground, she falls again. Patricia should take this, and yes, that was messy from Patricia Colli. Yeah, Patricia just didn't quite look clean throughout that run.
No, I really wasn't sure where that was going to go. I noticed in the qualies, I think their qualifying times were 0.001 second apart or something of sorts, but yeah, anyone could have taken that one.
Yeah, they could have. Well, Patricia showed the frustration she will be feeling. It just wasn't clean from her, but Patricia on the left just kept it together all the way through. It's that close shot. Always dynamic off the blocks, and yeah, Patricia was behind there. She needed something magical, and she just didn't get it. She tried everything at the top, really came back well.
Yeah, I find it really impressive when speed climbers are able to like get back after a major slip or even like a full fall. You see some of the male athletes in particular completely slip and still get like an incredible time. Just pick it up at the top. It's something to do with the adrenaline, I'm sure, in a race. So cool.
Yeah, exactly. You can just. I mean, sometimes the slip kind of inspires you. It kind of drives you forward, I think. All right, well, that is done for the women's. We know the finalists for them. We move back to the men's now. And the men's will get ready to run for the small final and big final places. And look, looking at this, it's hard to pick a favourite,
yeah.
but Ludovico Passali coming off the back of the gold medal in Briançon.
Very true. This is going to be an exciting final. Yeah, all very, very cool people, very cool climbers.
Yes, it is going to be a tight one. I'm excited for this. So Matteo Zaloni will take on Eric Neuer first of all. And there they are running on. Eric on the right in that red of Spain. And on the left, he's up against the recent gold medalist, Ludovico Passali, who there he is. Oh, sorry, Matteo Zaloni. What am I talking about? Matteo Zaloni. Apologies. I kept saying Ludovico. He's up next. So Matteo Zaloni instead, the world champion on the left. I'm liking Matteo's panda as well on his chalk bag.
Oh yeah, I see actually. I have, in fact, on my chalk bag, Matteo wristband from the Olympics.
Wow, really? That's
I
brilliant.
think it gives me extra power, and Sam Watson.
I'm going to keep an eye on that from now on. Next time we're at World Cup. All right, well, close PBs as well. This is going to be a tight one. Matteo Zaloni with a big breath there and a smile on his face.
I'm nervous for them.
It's harder watching in a commentary box, I tell
Yeah,
you.
for
You really
sure.
start to get very into this.
Ready?
Well, it's a good one from both athletes. Matteo looks so smooth at the moment. He's going to take this pretty easily eventually with a 4.987 sub 5.
Is that the first one of the comp?
First one of the comp. And Eric Neuer, well, a bit of disappointment from him. A 5.49 was slow, and he just had that moment in the middle. So he won't progress. And Matteo with a big smile. Matt was telling me earlier on, before you came in, that Matteo was kind of on holiday at the moment, that he was like taking a bit of a break. Clearly not.
I was thinking that, yeah. I was kind of surprised to see him on the start list. I assumed a lot of the Olympians might drop out, actually, of the comp that they were registered for, but nope, straight back into comp mode by the looks of things, and it doesn't seem to be doing him any bad.
He'd like to add a double championship to his trophy cabinet. He was the world champ. He wants to be the European champ, and Eric Neuer is going to have to let that one go for now, but he'll race again soon. Right, now he is Ludovico Fasali on the right against Sebastian Luca on the
right one?
left. I got it right.
Yeah.
So Italian number 2. Lido gets ready. Super focus from him, as we'd expect. Sebastian Luca looked relaxed in comparison.
Yeah.
Just enjoying his time out there in the spotlight.
I think that's important. Just take it in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this thing's so quick, you might as well when you're not running.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, that's the goal.
Yeah.
At your mark.
So here we go. At your marks is called. Ludo does one last air climb. Turns and faces the wall.
Ready?
Well, it's a good one from Ludovico Fasali. Sebastian's out of it. Can Ludovico just... Oh, it's a big slip from him. He needs to be careful here. He'll finish things off at a snail's pace because you don't want to slip, but that was close.
That was an interesting race. I wasn't sure what was going to happen there, actually. I didn't know if it was going to be one of those classic speed races where they both fall and then the original faller ends up winning, but I think Sebastian was fully off the wall at that point.
Yeah, he must have been, because I mean, we would have seen him appear on our screen, I think, because Ludo, I think, looked down just to make sure.
No, definitely.
Oh, that was a fascinating one for kind of the wrong reasons, but it's interesting to see.
I get really nervous when whoever hasn't fallen just ends up still going full speed, because I'm like, oh my goodness, just slow down, just slow down. you don't have to go fast.
But then I guess it can sort of take you out your flow a little bit.
Yeah, no, true.
Now, I wonder if Sebastian Luca did fall there, or if he just thought he was too far behind. I want to see this, just to make sure.
Yeah.
I think he could
Right
have
foot's-
recovered that, though. Because he had one
Potentially.
hand on.
Let's have a look. No.
You reckon not?
No, I don't think. I think the right foot slip was too
big to
It was
do,
too
okay.
far. I mean,
I'm just trying to insert
it's
a
hard
little
to
bit of
tell,
drama
to be
in
honest.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
Because to me, it looked like his right hand came down pretty solidly on the hole, but maybe just the angle as he was falling.
Yeah.
But anyway, regardless, he does go.
Pretty
He will
nasty
fight
slip
again.
Anyway.
Yeah. So Matteo Zaloni, 2 teammates in the final.
Ah,
Should be good to see. Matteo Zaloni versus Ludovico Fasali.
win-win for Italy.
Exactly, yeah, they'll be taking home gold and silver, whatever. And the women's race will run, I think, first of all, the way things are going. So it'll be the small finals first, so Giulia Randi versus Patricia Colli for the next round. So tell me a little bit about you, because not many comps going on. So when did you decide you wanted to be a speed climber? When did that happen?
Last year, February, March 2023, I had like a boulder comp, and I decided, no, that's my last one, like a national boulder comp. I said, no, a little bit too much pressure. I think I'm going to do speed climbing, which is a terrible idea because that's way more pressure. But no, I really enjoy the game. so far. I've actually decided to take a year out for training this year. I've left school, so before I go to uni, I'm going to just see how good I can get. Like starting off comparatively not very good, and I'm gonna see how it goes. I'm really psyched.
But it's one of those learning curves, isn't it? Because it goes quickly. You know, you start bad, you get better. We're watching replays, by the way, of what happened earlier on to get to this stage. But I want to carry on talking about you for the moment. Because, yeah, so that initial, did you see your times tumble quite quickly and then hit a bit of a plateau, or how did it go?
Oh, yeah. When I came directly out of Boulder training and transitioned to speed, my times were like way lower than they should have been. I think I just had like a lot of strength from the Boulder training and then got really psyched for speed. And then I held a PB of 8, 9, something like that for over a year until just last month when I broke it. So I'd actually got a lot stronger and a lot technically better at speed, but it wasn't like reaping its rewards until very recently. So I'm excited to like actually see that progress now, and I think touch wood, I think it's going up now exponentially, hopefully. I think the training year is definitely going to help a lot because I've been really focused on school the last couple of years. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, cannot wait to see you back, and it's great to have more members of Team GB making an impact as well. And we're watching these last couple of races. We saw that was the big slip from Ludovico.
I'm surprised he... I'm not surprised it's Ludo, but I was kind of surprised he held on there. Right.
So here we go, Beatrice Colli on the right of your screen.
Yeah, this is the scary race in my opinion. This is the really mean race.
So here we go, Giulia Randi on the left of your screen is up against Beatrice Colli. This is for the bronze medal at the European Championships.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, this is big, very close on PBs. Could be absolutely anyone.
Ready?
Two teammates against each other. That's a big start from both. Beatrice again with a mistake, uncharacteristic from her, but she falls. Giulia Randi will take this bronze medal. She slips at the top as well. What's going on?
What's happening?
It's all go here,
goodness.
drama.
This is very dramatic. Wow.
Oh, Giulia Randi doesn't look too happy about it, but she is the bronze medalist here. And Beatrice has already left the stage. She's gone.
Uh-oh.
So Beatrice perhaps a little upset by the way things went, as you would do. I mean, that was two slips in a row for her.
No, it's really hard to slip onto Moa. It does not feel good. You don't even get to show any of your speed.
So that was Beatrice dropping out a shot there. Let's watch it again, see if we can catch it from this angle.
Not really.
Disappointment from her as we see it once more from this angle, from the back.
It was a small slip, but I think her... As I say, I'm not that knowledgeable at speed climbing in the grand scheme, but it looked like her right foot was a bit too high to actually get the push and be able to throw herself around the fourth hold.
I would agree with you. It was super close to the hold. She just couldn't seem to put the power down through the flat of the foot on the wall.
Obviously it's really hard to like step over something that high when your foot is that high.
So, small final for the men. Eric Neuer on the left of your screen, Sebastian Luca on the right.
We just talk about Eric's reaction no matter the result. He is the most positive, one of the most positive people I've ever met. So happy to be here, so respectful. Like he's been, whenever all my interactions with him is so nice. Really cool guy.
I agree with you. Lovely man to be around and great to have him on the circuit. So here we go, bronze medal time in Villars-sur-Orlon. There's the timing pad. We're all ready to go.
Ready?
Oh, it's a full start from Sebastian. He carries on. I don't think he knew or realised, but he goes down, which means Eric Neuer will take that. Not the way you want to see it. Sebastian will come down.
It was only plus 0.7 by the looks of it, so really close, but oh, that's hard. That's really hard.
Yeah, it's a tough one to see. Well, they'll hug, they know. It just, I mean, you said earlier about doing the most pressurized form of climbing.
Yeah.
That's an example.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
No, you're mad. I don't know
No.
what you're thinking either. It's so stressful, speed climbing.
To be fair, I do like how quickly it's over. It's like, it's over so fast it can't be that deep. I don't know. I think there's so many ways to see it. I just like it. It's fun. It's exciting. It's fun to watch as well. You know, if you don't make finals, you get to watch the finals. It's kind of like, it's just as good.
Definitely exciting, yeah. Well, that was the full start. He carried on for a few
Slipped
holes
anyway.
more. And the full start did it for him today. The first one we've seen, actually, this evening.
Yeah. Were there any qualifiers? I don't think so.
Don't think so, no.
Obviously a few in practice, but doesn't matter in practice. So. Yeah,
So,
that's really tough.
Final for the women now. Patricia Hujiak on the right versus Natalia Kuruchka on the left. So two teammates against each other. But Natalia, we said at the beginning she was the favourite. She's done well to get this far. And she is quicker than Patricia. So this is kind of hers to lose at this stage.
It is indeed. As we say, anything can happen.
Well, we've seen so many slips, haven't we? I mean,
Patricia is so consistent from what I've seen in this comp as well.
right, here we go then.
So focused.
Gold and silver on the line. Natalia wants this one badly, you can tell. Well, it is good, but Patricia's came at her maybe a little too aggressively. Natalia should win this. If she can hold it together at the top, she does. Natalia Kuruchka celebrates. Patricia will come down with that silver medal still.
And with a sub-7.
And a sub-7, yeah. 6.92. 9.0, sorry. No, is it going? 9.8. Gosh, wow, those really are going.
There's been quite a few slips on the Samoa on lane B this evening. I wonder if there's... I don't know what it could be. From my experience today, the wall is really good.
Yeah.
Really nice.
I always wonder if it's like a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know,
Yeah.
the athletes talk about it back in the
Absolutely.
ISO. Let's see that race one more time, shall we? That was the mistake she made down low. Couldn't recover from that, but it was so aggressive at the beginning from her. Just flung herself at the wall.
Seems like a very driven and focused speed climber. I mean, I think a lot of them are, but everyone deals with it very differently. Like, I'm a little bit intimidated in ISO because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I've definitely noticed that everyone has their own way of dealing with the pressure and the warm-up.
I think you need to go full, like, out of control ego back there. You know, just unleash it.
I would have thought that, but I find that if you get too hyped up and too in the zone, it like really throws you off.
Okay, all right, fine. Rein it in then, all right?
Yeah.
50% ego instead.
His sunglasses on, relax.
Yeah. All right, last race here of this evening. Ludovico Fasali on the right, Matteo Zaloni on the left. He could make it the double championships here, whereas Ludovico Fasali could make it 2 golds. So let's see who takes this one. Ludo with that air climb as he does. He turns pretty late to the wall.
Matteo looks chilled.
He does, doesn't he? And I think Matteo climbs best when he is chilled as well.
He's a pretty chill person,
Yeah.
Ready?
Well, it's a good start from both. Impossible to call. Now it is. Matteo Zaloni slips. Ludo should take this. Is it going to be 2 golds? It is. Ludovico wins.
Goodness. What is happening tonight? This is so stressful.
It is all go, isn't it? Well, Ludovico Fasali will come down off the wall.
Is he okay? It's a bit...
I think he's just, I don't know, overwhelmed.
Yeah, potentially.
Still hyped. Who knows? But it was a win for him.
It's hard to tell if it's like shock or injury sometimes.
I know, and I've got to read that, and I've got that wrong a few times.
And a little bit of bittersweet emotion there. They both look happy.
Well,
They should be.
Now it comes in for Ludo.
Yeah, I think we got through the problem.
He's still lying on the stage, by
He
the way,
is.
by himself, celebrating that moment. Well, we're watching this race one last time here, and it was very close until Matteo had that big slip. I'm not exactly sure where he went, so let's check it here. It's through the bottom. His legs started to sort of skate around.
Yeah, I guess
Was it for him?
seems to be a lot of foot misses today. as well as just slips on the wall, and then incredible recoveries. It's really exciting to watch. It shows you how practiced these athletes are.
Well, that is the end of that. We'll wait for podiums and interviews, of course. And Ava, we'll say goodbye to you as well. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me and putting up with me. I think I'll be better next time.
Absolutely will. And look, best of luck for the rest of it. I know you're new to the game, so looking forward to see you progress through the ranks.
New to the speed game and the commentary game, I think.
Doing both very well. So we'll see you at World Cups in the future.
Much.
Thank you, Ava.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
So, we're going to watch some replays now of what happened before, and then I'm going to go and interview the winners. And of course, we finish with the podiums here tonight. And we've got a packed schedule over the next couple of days. Lead and Boulder coming up, and of course the Boulder and Lead combined competition as well on Sunday to finish things off here in Villars. Now, lead wall has been set. That's the routes are on it today. Well, I'm going to go down and find some winners. I'll be back with you shortly. Enjoy the replays. So Natalia, congratulations on your victory here tonight. Talk me through that race. How did it go for you?
To be honest, this is my favorite run because I can share this run with my teammate. And I think I was focused on my technique, and I did and I win. I'm very happy for that.
Tell me a little bit about the wall here in Villars, because people say it's a very quick one, nice and grippy. Did you find that to be the case?
To be honest, Villars is my favorite place to compete because I would like this spiritual calm. Villars has a very amazing landscape and view, and I think this is my place to win.
Well, congratulations on that. And what's next for you for the rest of the season?
And now I need a little bit rest for my body and my mind, but I have competed to University World Championship in the I guess 2 weeks, and this is my plans for my future.
Well, congratulations. Enjoy tonight. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bon, mesdames et messieurs, dans un instant, la cérémonie protocolaire pour ces championnats d'Europe, podium féminin, podium masculin. En tout cas, merci les amis d'avoir été aussi nombreux. Et rappelez-vous, demain, on vient en rendez-vous.
Ludovico, what else can I say? You've just won gold medal number 2 in a row after Briançon. You must be feeling great, but talk me through that last race.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain the last race. Like it was the first time with Matteo, and Matteo is a really strong guy. So the pressure was on, and I think both of us felt that. We try our best, and some mistake happened, but it's okay. Yeah, it was pretty tense.
There was a wonderful moment where you, at the end of the race, you lay down on the stage and it looked like all the emotion hit you at the same time. What was going on in that moment?
This year was pretty hard. The Olympic was the goal, so after the Olympic, I had to reset myself and keep going on for the comp that was happening, and this one was the first one. So it's pretty nice to see the Olympic in Paris, to watch them and to feel some emotion in Paris. Every moment of training after didn't qualify was a point for the European Championship. So I guess I made it, and for the next Olympic I know what to do.
Well, congratulations on that double. Hopefully you make it a triple soon. Thank you, Ludo. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Can I just say ciao mamma? È andata bene. E volevo salutare un po' anche il mio allenatore Stani, Aldo, chi mi supporta, chi mi sta vicino. E per gli inglesi che non capiscono mi spiace. La mia famiglia siete i migliori. Vi voglio bene.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the IFSC European Championship Villars 2024. Please welcome the medalist for the speed woman. The medals and flower will be presented by Mr. Tim Spinks, President of the IFSC Europe.
Well, podium time, and congratulations to those winners once more. Emotional moments on stage for everyone watching. But right now we get to give away some medals here under the lead and speed walls. Lead wall on the right will be in action in a couple of days, as we get ourselves ready for the second half of this European Championships. The Paraclimbing comp as well. That took place earlier in the week, so do go back and watch that if you haven't already. What a comp that was. Shout out to Sebastian Depke for his commentating duties on that one. Well done, Sebastian. You can see those lights on stage. Blue and red seem to be the theme of this European Champs. It was an exciting final as well. A few slips to keep us interested along the way. And some fast times. We saw that 5-second barrier beaten here. Tomorrow we have the Boulder semi-finals and finals for the men and women. I mentioned that new wall at the beginning, but you see a couple of the athletes sticking their heads around the corner there. Yeah, the Boulder wall not usually in place here in Villars, usually just speed and lead, but a big wall with a huge roof, which is good to see. Just ramping up the tension here a little bit as we wait for the athletes to be introduced.
Please welcome the Middle East. Il est là évidemment représenté par Mr. Theo Smith, President of the IFSC.
Well, the women have entered the back of the stage. They're about to be ushered through to the front onto that podium.
Mr. Horst Stocker, head of the competition sports at the Swiss Alpine Club.
And here we go, Julia Randy standing in that bronze medal spot. And Patricia Hujiak comes on the left and standing in the middle, Natalia Klushka. Julia Randy with that bronze medal, good performance from her. Patricia beaten by her teammate, but as Natalia said, great racing against her. Team Poland super, super strong, as Matt Full said earlier on. 5 of the top 5 in the last European Championships were from Poland. So dominant. There's 2 here on this podium. Natalia Kluczka takes the gold medal here in Villars. And she was so excited when I was interviewing her. It just meant a lot to her to take another victory. And her sister was there as well, congratulated her on the Olympics, of course. But she was saying how nerve-wracking it was watching her sister compete. And it's true. I think it's easier sometimes for the athletes out there. At least they can do something about it. The rest of us just have to watch and hope. Well, the national anthem of Poland will now play. Well, the women have finished for this evening. The athletes down at the front watching on. Natalia with that big smile on her face. Gold for her. Team Poland take the 1-2. Julia Randy coming up third with that bronze. And finally, we'll reset for the men. Top three will be coming on, getting their medals, getting their trophies. The schedule for the next couple of days is Boulder semi-finals, finals tomorrow, on Friday, the 30th. Saturday, we move on to Lead. Again, semis and finals for men and women, and on Sunday, well, it's the Boulder and Lead competition. That's going to be a big one. And there are the men on stage, two Italian teammates on the left. And Ludovico, emotional during the interview, shouted out his mum. Gave a little message in Italian to her. Just a nice moment amongst all the chaos of this competition. Well, Eric Neuer, another medal for his collection. He takes the bronze, fists pumping in the air as he celebrates. Someone put something in that trophy quick. Well, Matteo Zaloni had a slip in the finals. He walks away with silver. And for a man who's just coming back from the Olympics, he looked fast out there, nice and relaxed, still keeping in his zone. And then finally, Ludovico Fossali will stand once again on the top spot of the podium. He got a gold in Briançon. He won gold here in Villars. He is the European champion. Well, Ludovico conducts the audience as the national anthem finishes. The men will gather, but don't worry, We haven't finished with things yet because over the next couple of days, Boulder Lead and Boulder Lead will be in action, kicking off tomorrow, 12 p.m. Central European time for the Boulder semi-finals. Hard routes are being crafted as we speak behind the curtains of the Boulder Wall. And the athletes will be out in force trying to make those final places, which will take place tomorrow evening. So lots of action to come. And we will see you soon then from Villars sur Orlon. Congratulations to the speed athletes. Return tomorrow for more IFSC action with me, Matt Groom.